guys, welcome to the fiction series. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto was the son of goddess? Part 2. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. Kagaya observed her children with both curiosity and concern. 5 years had passed since she awakened, and during that time, she diligently kept an eye on the children who possessed her son's chakra. While nothing particularly interesting had occurred, she remained vigilant. The eldest child, Sasuke, belonging to the Uchiha clan, exhibited remarkable similarities to her older son. The clan's distinctive eyes reminded her of the eyes her son possessed before the tragic events with his brother. Kagaya couldn't help but hold a biased opinion of the Uchiha clan, perceiving them as power-hungry individuals. However, there was one exception within their ranks: Uchiha Itachi, Sasuke's older brother. Despite Itachi's young age, he had already achieved the prestigious rank of Anbu, surpassing many others. Kagaya couldn't help but admire Itachi's selflessness and lack of ego. He harbored no arrogance, despite his remarkable accomplishments. Itachi's primary motivation was to protect his younger brother and their family, showing immense love for both. Unfortunately, Sasuke's relationship with his father was strained due to the latter's power-hungry nature, which Sasuke resented. Naruto, the other half of her older son's chakra, had a relatively happier life. His parents, especially his father, showered him with love. Though Naruto's mother had been an active jonin, she decided to temporarily put her career on hold to care for their children. Naruto, as the eldest son, eagerly anticipated his training, hoping to become strong and protect his family. However, he was disheartened when he learned that only his sisters would commence their training, as the Uzumaki clan considered chakra chains exclusive to girls. Despite his initial disappointment, Naruto accepted the decision, looking forward to training alongside his parents in the future. Among the 3 children, Hinata's life was the most difficult. Her father, Hiashi, shared traits with the power-hungry Uchiha clan head. Hiashi's actions had caused Hinata to suffer, particularly after an incident involving a failed kidnapping attempt when she was just 3 years old. The ensuing events led to strained relations between the village and the Raikage of Kumagakure. Niji, Hinata's cousin, blamed her for their father's sacrifice, further complicating her life. Moreover, Hinata's mother, who had been the only one to show her love, tragically passed away while giving birth to her younger sister, Hanabi. Hiashi, disappointed that another daughter had been born, pushed Hinata away and forbade her from interacting with Hanabi, hoping to mold her younger daughter into a stronger individual. This treatment left Hinata feeling weak and unable to win battles against younger opponents. Despite these hardships, Naruto and Hinata found solace in each other's company. They had become friends after meeting at Naruto's 5th birthday party, where most children were drawn to his sisters due to their upcoming training. Hinata, being kind-hearted, noticed Naruto's loneliness and decided to check on him. Their friendship blossomed as they spent time together, with Hinata providing Naruto the care and attention he craved. Under a moonlit sky, they often sat together in the park, sharing moments of tranquility. Naruto admired the beauty of the moon, and Hinata agreed, her lavender eyes reflecting a genuine fondness for nature. On one such occasion, Naruto realized he hadn't asked for her name before and introduced himself as Naruto Namikaze. Hinata softly replied, revealing her own name, Hinata Hyuga, which Naruto found to be as beautiful as she was. Their friendship continued to grow, with Hinata gradually overcoming her shyness when she was with Naruto. He provided her with a safe space where she could express herself without fear of judgment. Naruto's unwavering support and belief in her gradually boosted Hinata's self-confidence, allowing her to break free from her timid shell. As their bond deepened, Naruto discovered more about Hinata's likes and dislikes. He learned that she had a fondness for zenzai and cinnamon rolls, while crabs and shrimp were not to her taste. Though she still struggled to speak up in front of others, Hinata found solace in Naruto's company, where she felt comfortable being herself. Their friendship became a source of strength for both of them. Naruto, who had often felt overlooked and alone, now had a true friend who saw him for who he was. Hinata, on the other hand, found the courage to confront her insecurities and gradually developed a voice of her own. Naruto's encouragement and belief in her abilities played a significant role in this transformation. Their time together became an escape from the pressures and expectations placed on them by their respective clans. Naruto would listen intently as Hinata shared her hopes, dreams, and even her deepest fears. In return, Naruto shared stories of his adventures and dreams of becoming a powerful ninja who would protect everyone he cared about. Their friendship inspired them to strive for greatness, each supporting the other's aspirations. Naruto motivated Hinata to believe in herself and her abilities, reminding her that she had the strength within her to overcome any obstacle. Hinata, in turn, admired Naruto's determination and unwavering spirit, vowing to always be there for him and offer her support. As usual, Kagaya sat quietly, her eyes observing her surroundings. She could feel a subtle surge in her chakra, gradually returning to its former strength. Though considered Kage level by today's shinobi standards, Kagaya knew deep down that her current chakra reserves were nothing more than a mere drop in the vast ocean. She needed millions of times more chakra if she ever wanted to break free from her confinements. Meanwhile, her children, now 7 years old, played nearby. The first 5 years of their lives had been filled with love and care, shielded from the harsh realities of the world. However, the past 2 years had brought about a drastic change. It seemed as though misfortune had taken a liking to Kagaya and her children. Naruto, despite having a relatively easier time compared to his siblings, still faced his own struggles. Initially, his parents had promised to train him, but the anticipated later never seemed to arrive. Naruto had patiently waited for 2 long years, his heart yearning for the guidance he had been promised. However, his parents were reluctant, fearing that his sisters would fall behind if they shifted their attention to him. They assured Naruto that they would teach him later, but any attempts he made to train himself were met with harsh scoldings and a forbiddance to train alone again. Naruto, as his sister's training progressed, he found himself spending less and less time with his family. With his father holding the esteemed position of Hokage, he always left the house before Naruto even woke up. His mother and sisters were equally committed to their own early morning training, leaving his breakfast on the table before their departure. But instead of feeling cast aside, Naruto saw their actions as a reflection of their deep dedication to their respective paths. Although Naruto yearned for their love and attention, he understood that their absence in the mornings was not a measure of their affection for him. He knew they were driven by a strong desire to become the best versions of themselves, just as he aspired to do. Rather than harboring resentment, he decided to channel his energy into training tirelessly, determined to join them one day in their pursuits. However, one person remained a steadfast pillar of support in Naruto's life. His dear friend Hinata Hyuga. She had always been there for him, caring deeply and showing unwavering loyalty. From the moment they met, their friendship had blossomed, becoming an unbreakable bond that provided solace and strength during Naruto's moments of doubt. Ever since his 5th birthday party, when the other children believed that Ikari and Naruto would only associate with Naruto, Naruto had noticed a subtle shift in how people perceived him. While some villagers may have misunderstood his family dynamics, he chose not to dwell on their misconceptions. Instead, he focused on his own growth and development, knowing that his worth was not defined by others' opinions. Sasuke, on the other hand, seemed to have led a relatively privileged life. He received an abundance of love from his mother and brother, despite his father's lack of acknowledgement. Sasuke's journey was marked by relentless determination, his every effort aimed at gaining his father's recognition. Itachi, his older brother, respected Sasuke's unwavering dedication and harbored hope that one day, the Uchiha patriarch would come to realize the true worth of his son's accomplishments. Recently, Sasuke had taken his first steps into Konoha Academy, hoping to learn and grow as a shinobi. Little did he know that his return home that night would forever change his life. As he approached his house under the moonlit sky, an eerie silence enveloped the air and a sense of unease gripped his heart. With trepidation, he entered the familiar surroundings, only to be confronted by a horrifying sight that he wished was nothing more than a dreadful nightmare. The lifeless bodies of his beloved clan members lay before him, a stark reminder of the brutal reality he now faced. Shocked and overwhelmed, Sasuke found himself frozen in disbelief, unable to comprehend the extent of the tragedy that had befallen his family. A surge of emotion surged through his mind, and a singular thought consumed his being: he had to find answers. With newfound determination, he mustered the strength to break free from the paralyzing grip of shock. His feet carried him swiftly through the darkness, propelled by an urgent need to seek the truth within the depths of his home. But as Sasuke entered his parents' chamber, his worst fears were confirmed. The lifeless forms of his mother and father lay before him, their presence a haunting reminder of the immense loss he had suffered. Overwhelmed by grief, his thoughts became a jumbled mess, unable to process the enormity of the situation. In that moment of despair, his brother emerged from the shadows, silently stepping forward. Sasuke's heart skipped a beat as he looked upon Itachi, his sibling whom he had admired and adored his entire life. A mix of relief and confusion washed over him, grateful to see his brother alive but bewildered by the blood-stained katana in Itachi's hand. The words that escaped Itachi's lips shattered Sasuke's fragile hope as he revealed the unthinkable truth. Itachi confessed to orchestrating the massacre of their clan, driven by a quest for power. Sasuke's world crumbled, torn between the memories of their loving family and the undeniable evidence before him. It was a truth he didn't want to accept, a reality too painful to bear. But Itachi wasn't finished. Engaging Sasuke in a paralyzing genjutsu, he forced his younger brother to relive the heart-wrenching deaths of their parents repeatedly. Each iteration tore at Sasuke's soul, breaking him down further with every passing moment. Exhausted and emotionally shattered, he succumbed to unconsciousness, his mind seeking solace in the oblivion of sleep. Days blurred together as Sasuke lay in a state of profound vulnerability. His body slowly awakened, but his spirit remained fractured. The weight of betrayal, loss, and confusion pressed upon him, threatening to suffocate his resolve. Yet, through the pain, one thing became clear: he had to find his own path, a path that would lead him to the strength needed to confront his brother and avenge his fallen loved ones. Hinata Hyuga's life had been marred by unimaginable hardship since the untimely death of her mother. The void left by her absence was palpable, and it seemed as if the world around Hinata crumbled into a living nightmare. The pain she endured was not limited to emotional torment, as her father's actions only exacerbated her suffering. Deprived of the comfort of her younger sister's company, Hinata was thrust into a relentless training regimen by her father, Hiashi. At a tender age of 6 or 7, she was forced to spar with genin and even chunin-level ninja. The lack of consequences for those who accidentally harmed her resulted in countless injuries, both physical and emotional. Hinata's spirit remained unbroken, but her heart bore the weight of each wound inflicted upon her fragile form. In the midst of this suffocating environment, her time spent with Naruto, her unwavering friend, was reduced to a mere once a week. The respite he provided from her tumultuous existence became a fleeting oasis of solace. Still, Hinata clung to the belief that their bond would endure, knowing that Naruto valued her friendship as much as she treasured his. However, a recent discovery shattered what little remained of her fragile heart. The truth emerged, revealing that her mother's passing was not a result of childbirth complications, as she had been led to believe. The elders had disapproved of her mother's outsider status, viewing her as an unwanted addition to the clan. It was their insidious influence that convinced Hiashi to believe that Hinata's perceived weakness stemmed from her mother's presence. In their cunning manipulation, they poisoned her mother soon after giving birth to Hanabi. But as Hinata's fury grew, so did her awareness of her own limitations. Her anger was eclipsed by a deep sense of powerlessness. She yearned to take action, to right the wrongs that had been inflicted upon her, but she felt bound by her perceived weakness. Doubt clouded her mind, casting shadows over her self-belief. To her dismay, her father's decision to seal her with a caged bird seal on her 7th birthday only reinforced the notion of her captivity. The mark served as a constant reminder of her perceived inadequacy and the restraints placed upon her potential. Yet, deep within her, a flicker of determination persisted, refusing to be extinguished. In the midst of her despair, she found herself standing at the base of the mountain, gazing up at the stern faces of the Hokage statues. The weight of her troubles felt overwhelming. Naruto was consumed by worry. His thoughts revolved around his only friend, and the past 2 years they had spent together had taught him one thing for certain. Her clan was filled with jerks. Lately, however, their meetings had become increasingly infrequent. Instead of their usual regular get-togethers, they could only manage to meet once a week. Each time they met, she seemed burdened, as if she had endured a great deal. Despite his curiosity, she never opened up about what troubled her, instead brushing it off as part of her training. Naruto couldn't help but wonder, who trains like that? He knew his own sisters trained under their parents, who were tough on them, but they never exhibited the same physical toll that he had noticed on his friend. Yet, for the time being, Naruto chose to disregard his suspicions. However, the situation took a turn for the worse when his friends stopped coming to meet him altogether. 2 long weeks had passed without a word from her, and his concern grew deeper. Attempting to check on her, Naruto approached her clan's compound, only to be stopped at the gates. They refused to let him in and offered no reassurances about her well-being. Fear began to gnaw at Naruto's heart. Was something terrible happening to her? Did she no longer want to be friends? A torrent of questions flooded his mind, each one intensifying his anxiety. He was aimlessly wandering through the village, an air of unease settling deep within him. An inexplicable sense of impending doom gnawed at his mind, leaving him restless and on edge. Observing the unfolding events with intense fury, Kagaya seethed with anger. The mere thought of anyone causing harm to her precious children ignited a fierce desire within her, one that urged her to take violent action. Yet, she understood the constraints that held her back. Hopelessly, she watched, unable to intervene directly. Among her beloved offspring, a tender 7-year-old was on the verge of succumbing to despair, contemplating the unimaginable act of ending her own life. The weight of the situation bore heavily upon Kagaya's heart. How could they have pushed her child to such depths of desolation at such a tender age? If it weren't for the confines of her prison, Kagaya felt an instinctive urge to eliminate those responsible for her children's suffering. But she knew the boundaries that restrained her. Powerless in her current state, she found herself confronted with a difficult decision, one she had not anticipated making. In a burst of determination, Kagaya resolved to utilize every remaining fragment of chakra within her to save her child. The reasons for her desperate need to protect her offspring eluded even her. Though the chakra within her children was tied to her own, she understood that they were distinct individuals. Still, an unyielding maternal instinct compelled her to shield them at any cost. And so, with fierce resolve in her eyes, Kagaya embarked on an unexpected path. She would summon forth every ounce of her dwindling chakra, harnessing its formidable energy to rescue her child from the clutches of despair. In the face of daunting odds and her own limitations, Kaguya would give her all to ensure the safety and well-being of her precious offspring. If she used her remaining chakra, the consequences were uncertain to her. Perhaps she would be plunged into another timeless slumber, spanning hundreds of years. Alternatively, she might meet her end, but she no longer cared about her own fate. Her sole focus was on saving her child. With whatever chakra she had left, she forged a profound connection between herself and Naruto. He seemed to be the best option for her salvation, possessing a similar chakra to her own. Meanwhile, Naruto found himself consumed by sorrow over Hinata. He longed to see her again, but had no idea how to make it happen. Suddenly, an unusual sensation washed over him, a presence attempting to invade his mind. Although the Yamanaka clan was known for such abilities, Naruto doubted it was their doing. Before he could comprehend the situation, he lost consciousness. When he awakened, Naruto found himself surrounded by an endless expanse of darkness. Fear gripped his heart as confusion enveloped his thoughts. How had he ended up in this unfamiliar place? A sense of foreboding grew within him. But then, through the inky abyss, he caught sight of her. There before him stood a breathtaking woman with ethereal white skin and hair. Two delicate horns adorned her head, and her eyes captivated him. They resembled Hinata's, but her third eye remained closed, concealing its secrets. Naruto could find no words to describe her beauty. She was simply radiant. "I finally get a chance to meet you, my child. I am so happy," she said with a warm smile. Naruto looked at her with curiosity. "Who are you? Where are we? Do I know you?" he asked, feeling a mix of confusion and excitement. "It's nice to talk with you, but I'm afraid we don't have much time left. My other child, you know her as Hinata, your friend, is in danger. You have to go where those faces are carved in the mountains. She was about to do something terrible. I want you to go there as soon as possible," she explained with urgency. Naruto's worry grew immensely, realizing the gravity of the situation. He asked her how he could leave this place and make his way to Hokage Mountain. Without hesitation, she gently woke him up from his dream, and Naruto bolted towards his destination, fueled by determination. After what felt like an eternity, Naruto finally arrived at Hokage Mountain. His heart pounded as he saw Hinata standing on the edge, tears streaming down her face. He knew he had to act quickly. With a mix of horror and love, he rushed towards her, embracing her tightly from behind, preventing her from taking that fatal leap. Hinata, startled by the sudden contact, activated her Byakugan, and her gaze met Naruto's. A wave of relief washed over her as she recognized him. For a moment, she forgot about everything else and simply reveled in the comfort of his embrace. But soon, a wave of self-doubt crashed over Hinata, filling her with worry about how Naruto would perceive her now. She felt weak and helpless, unable to do anything to prevent her own despair. Tears poured from her eyes even more, her self-esteem shattering before her. "What are you thinking? You were about to jump. Did you even consider how I would feel if you left like that?" Naruto's voice thundered, laced with anger and concern. I was Hinata struggled to find her words, her voice choked with tears. Before she could finish, Naruto pulled her into another tight embrace, silencing her worries. In that moment, Hinata forgot about her fears and insecurities, and instead, she soaked in the warmth of her friend and secret crush's embrace. It was a powerful reminder that she was not alone and that Naruto cared deeply for her. Naruto gently whispered into her ear, his voice filled with a mixture of emotions. "Hinata, I could never hate you. Your life is precious to me, and I can't bear the thought of losing you. Please, let me be there for you. You're strong, and together, we can face anything that comes our way." Hinata's heart swelled with hope as his words sank in. The darkness that had consumed her began to fade, replaced by a glimmer of light. She clung to Naruto, finding solace in his unwavering support. Soon, Hinata and Naruto found themselves in a black void, their surroundings eerily familiar to Naruto. Hinata, although surprised, trusted Naruto's calm demeanor in this strange place. Suddenly, Kaguya emerged before them, her presence invoking a mix of fear and recognition. Hinata's thoughts mirrored Naruto's initial encounter with Kaguya. Kaguya swiftly embraced them, and in that moment, an inexplicable warmth enveloped both Naruto and Hinata, as if they were embracing a long-lost loved one. They felt an overwhelming sense of safety. "I am overjoyed to see both of you," Kaguya expressed, her voice evoking familiarity. Naruto and Hinata could sense that they knew her somehow. "Ah, I see you're wondering who I am. Correct." They both nodded, their curiosity piqued. "I would love to share my story with you, but time is short for me. If you hold my hands, I can show you everything," Kaguya offered, her gaze filled with a deep longing. Trusting someone they had just met was a risky decision for any ninja, but Naruto and Hinata sensed a genuine connection to Kaguya. Naruto took the first step, extending his hand, and Hinata, overcome with trust, followed suit. Memories flooded their minds, unveiling Kaguya's journey of love, betrayal, and devotion to her children. Witnessing her resilience and unconditional love brought tears to Naruto and Hinata's eyes. Despite enduring her own son's betrayal, Kaguya continued to watch over them, longing for her own happiness. Realizing that her chakra was depleting, Kaguya knew her time was limited. She offered a portion of her chakra to Naruto and Hinata, hoping it would empower them to lead fulfilling lives. Her only regret was not being able to meet her third child, Sasuke, whose name she whispered to them. With her last bit of chakra, she established a profound connection with him, knowing it could lead to her demise. However, she reassured them, urging them to cherish their own lives, and cautioning Hinata not to prematurely use the seal on her forehead. Moved by Kaguya's selflessness, Naruto and Hinata vowed to find a way to free her. Kaguya, touched by their determination, smiled at them one last time before fading away. Returning to Hokage Mountain, Naruto held Hinata tightly, his heart heavy with the weight of their newfound knowledge. Why? Why does everything I hold dear keep getting taken away from me? Hinata sobbed, her voice choked with anguish. The pain of her losses overwhelmed her, and she found solace in Naruto's comforting embrace. Hush, Hinata-chan, it'll be okay. I'm here for you, and we'll find a way to see mother again. I promise, Naruto reassured her, his voice filled with unwavering determination. Feeling lost and homeless, Hinata expressed her concern about her future. Naruto knew he had to provide her with support and a sense of belonging. He brought her to his own house, fully aware that his decision might face opposition from his parents. Entering Naruto's room, Hinata found herself in a modest space adorned with posters of previous Hokages, a testament to Naruto's admiration for them. Among the decorations, she blushed upon seeing a photo of themselves as children, taken on Naruto's birthday. It was a cherished memory, and seeing it displayed in his room filled her with warmth. Naruto suggested that Hinata rest while he prepared food for her. She obliged, feeling the weight of exhaustion settle upon her. Falling asleep almost instantly, she found comfort in Naruto's presence. While Hinata slept, Naruto went out to get some food. Knowing her fondness for cinnamon rolls, he headed to the bakery and purchased a fresh batch for Hinata. He also bought some ramen, knowing it was his own favorite. Carrying the delicious treats, he returned to find Hinata still sleeping peacefully. Deciding to let her rest a little longer, Naruto sat down next to her, flipping through his books. He glanced at her from time to time, a gentle smile gracing his lips. Seeing her serene face brought him a sense of calm amidst the chaos of their recent experiences. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow through the windows, Hinata finally stirred awake. Her eyes met Naruto's, and she blushed, feeling a mixture of comfort and happiness in his presence. I bought some cinnamon rolls for you. Let's eat, Naruto said, his voice filled with genuine care and affection. The mention of her favorite treat brought a genuine smile to Hinata's face. It was the first true smile Naruto had seen from her in weeks. They sat together, savoring the sweet pastries, their laughter and conversation filling the room. For a while, Hinata forgot about the trials and sorrows that had plagued her. Instead, she focused on the warmth and kindness that Naruto exuded. After finishing their meal, they continued talking, sharing stories, and reminiscing about their childhood adventures. The hours slipped by unnoticed as they found solace in each other's company. As the clock neared 9 p.m., the time when Naruto's parents and sisters would return, Naruto knew it was time to face the reality of their situation. He couldn't hide Hinata's presence from his family any longer. Naruto and Hinata walked out of the room hand in hand, their steps filled with a quiet determination. They entered the main hall, where Minato, Kushina, and their sisters had just arrived, engaged in cheerful conversation. The room fell silent as their eyes fell upon Hinata's disheveled appearance. Naruto, why is Hinata here? And what happened to her? Kushina asked, concern etched on her face. Naruto took a deep breath and proceeded to share everything, withholding only the part about meeting Kaguya and Hinata's attempted jump from Hokage Mountain. You know we can't officially adopt her due to the rules. We need to find someone who can provide her with the care she deserves, Minato informed them, his voice laced with a sense of responsibility. The thought of separating from Naruto only heightened Hinata's anxiety, and Naruto noticed her distress. No, she's staying with us. You're the Hokage, you have the power to change the rules, Naruto asserted, his voice firm and unwavering. His father was taken aback by Naruto's rare display of determination. Naruto, you're not thinking clearly. I can't abuse my power as Hokage. But we can find someone who will take good care of Hinata, Minato reasoned, hoping Naruto would understand. I won't leave Hinata-chan like that. If you won't let her live here, then I'll leave the house too. I can't abandon her in a time like this, Naruto declared, his voice resolute. The room fell silent, stunned by Naruto's resolve, including his father. Minato, caught off guard, contemplated the situation. He realized that Naruto's love and concern for Hinata went beyond mere friendship. After a moment, he relented, understanding the depth of their bond. Alright, she can stay here. But I can't officially adopt her, nor can I provide her with a monthly allowance. You need to be prepared for that. And if she chooses to become a ninja, she will have to live on her own once she becomes a genin, or until she turns 18. I won't argue with you any further, Minato stated, his tone softened with a touch of understanding. Naruto nodded, relieved that his father had relented. He turned to Hinata, his eyes filled with warmth. "See, Hinata-chan. You can stay with us," he reassured her, his voice gentle yet full of determination. Naruto and Hinata entered Naruto's room, both looking visibly exhausted after such an eventful day. "You shouldn't have gone to such lengths for me, Naruto-kun," Hinata said softly. Naruto glanced at her with a gentle smile. "You needed my help, Hinata-chan, and I wouldn't leave you alone like that," he replied, his concern evident in his eyes. Feeling grateful, Hinata initially hesitated when Naruto offered her his bed, but he insisted, assuring her it was no trouble. Eventually, she accepted his offer and settled into bed, appreciating his kindness. Naruto, true to his word, took the couch, ensuring that Hinata would be comfortable for the night. Meanwhile, in Minato and Kushina's room, they discussed the recent events and Naruto's uncharacteristic behavior. "What do you think happened to Naruto? He has never acted this way before," Kushina voiced her concern. Minato comforted his wife, offering a possible explanation. "Don't worry, Kushina. I believe Hinata is his friend and he's just worried about her. That's all. He will come around," he reassured her. Realizing that Naruto might be upset about his training not having started yet, Kushina wondered aloud, "Do you think he's mad because we haven't begun his training? Perhaps we should ask him tomorrow if he wants to train with us." Minato agreed, and with that, they both settled down to sleep, understanding that the day had been challenging for everyone. In Akari and Naruko's room, they were taken aback by their older brother's sudden outburst. "What do you think happened to Big Brother? Why was he so angry?" "I know he was worried about Hinata, but he didn't have to yell at father," Naruko pondered aloud. Akari considered the situation before responding, maybe he was angry because father and mother hadn't started his training yet. He probably took it out on father. Naruko nodded in agreement, acknowledging Naruto's carefree nature. If only he could be more serious and show father that he's ready, maybe they would start his training. "They're just concerned for his safety, after all," she remarked. Satisfied with their conversation, Akari and Naruko drifted off to sleep, hoping that their brother would find a way to prove himself and earn their parents' trust. The story continues with the same plot, but the characters' thoughts and feelings are further emphasized, providing a deeper understanding of their dynamics and concerns. Next day, Hinata moved into the Namikaze mansion. It wasn't a typical move-in, as she didn't have anything with her at all. As always, Naruto's parents and sisters woke up early, but today they didn't leave like they usually do. They waited for Naruto and Hinata to wake up. After some time, both of them woke up and headed towards the main hall to have breakfast. Naruto was surprised to see his parents still there. "What happened? Why are you all still here?" he asked in surprise. Kushina replied, "We were hoping you could come with us to train today. We can help you with unlocking your chakra." She hoped that Naruto would be happy to hear that since he had always wanted to train with them. However, to their surprise, Naruto didn't look happy. He paused for a moment, thinking. "I'm sorry, but I can't come with you today. Hinata-chan and I have some important things to take care of," Naruto calmly replied. His answer made Naruko really angry. "Why did you decline the option to train with us? You always say that you wanted to. But now that father is giving you a chance, you're declining it. What could be more important than training with us?" she asked, clearly angry. Naruto responded calmly, "Firstly, Hinata-chan needs some clothes that fit her properly. Both of your clothes are a bit big for her. Secondly, there are other essentials she needs if she's going to stay here, like a toothbrush and other personal items. Lastly, I want to spend more time with her. It's been almost 2 weeks since I last saw her, and there's a lot that we need to catch up on." Naruto spoke with a sense of enjoyment. Naruko was even more frustrated, but she didn't say anything. Akari asked calmly, "So that means you'll come tomorrow, then?" Naruto replied, "No, I won't. You two already know the basics and are learning more advanced stuff. I would only slow you down. I'll wait until the academy starts in a few days. They will teach us the basics, and then father can teach us advanced techniques as well." Kushina had a look of disbelief. She tried to figure out if Naruto genuinely wanted to learn the basics from the academy first, or if he was simply avoiding spending time with the family. "I mean, he always wanted to train with us, so why would he decline like that? He must feel that he will learn the basics first, so we don't have to teach them separately." "Yeah, that's it," Kushina thought to herself. "Okay then, we're heading out," Kushina said. "Dinner is already ready, so make sure to eat it." With that, all four of them left the mansion, leaving Naruto and Hinata behind. "Thank you, Naruto-kun. You're doing all of this for me, and I can't repay you," Hinata thanked him. "What are you talking about? We're friends, and that's what friends do, right?" Naruto replied. Hinata nodded, and the two of them left the house. As Naruto had mentioned earlier, they went to the market to buy things that Hinata would need. This time, instead of a baggy lavender jacket, Hinata chose a purple dress that Naruto had picked out for her. It was perfect for a ninja, allowing freedom of movement. Naruto insisted on buying 2 sets of the dress, despite Hinata's protests that one would be enough. He mentioned that she looked even more beautiful in the dress, and having a backup would be useful in case one got damaged. Who knew if they would find a dress as beautiful as this again? Although Hinata didn't want Naruto to spend more money than necessary, he reassured her that his pocket money was mostly spent on ramen, so he had enough to spare for other things. Hinata insisted that he should buy something for himself too. They came across a black shirt with orange lining, which both Naruto and Hinata liked. Naruto's fondness for orange and Hinata's agreement made it an ideal choice. Naruto decided to buy 2 sets of clothes as well, matching the 2 sets of dresses they had purchased earlier. With all their necessary items now acquired, Hinata tried to keep the list as small as possible, not wanting Naruto to spend too much on their preparations. As the afternoon approached, they found themselves at Ichiraku, the village's renowned ramen stall. Naruto wanted Hinata to experience the exquisite taste of Ichiraku's ramen too. They both placed their orders, eagerly anticipating the delicious meal. Hinata discovered that she enjoyed ramen, though not quite as much as Naruto did. It ranked second on her list of favorite foods, right after cinnamon rolls. She understood why Naruto always spoke highly of Ichiraku and why it held a special place in his heart. After their satisfying meal, instead of heading straight home, Naruto and Hinata decided to visit an empty training ground nearby. Hinata couldn't help but express her concerns. "Are you sure you want to train with me instead of your family? They might be able to teach you better than I can." Naruto shook his head and replied with determination, "No, I don't want to train with them anymore. They've always made promises to train me, but they never followed through. Now suddenly, they show interest in my training. I don't like that. They claim to be working on my sister's chakra chains, but I suspect they are working on something else, or my sisters haven't grasped the technique yet. The latter is highly unlikely." Realizing Naruto's disappointment, Hinata offered her help. "Well, I can assist you with that. There are actually 2 methods. The first is the natural method, where you meditate and engage in light chakra exercises to open your chakra pathways. The second method is more forceful, where someone with already open chakra can forcefully send bursts of chakra into your pathways to unlock them." Naruto expressed his preference. "I already have an idea which method you use to unlock your chakra. I want to try the second method as well." Hinata grew concerned and cautioned him, "But Naruto-kun, the second method is quite painful, and it carries risks. You could even get seriously hurt or worse. I don't want you to go through that." Hinata's eyes began to well up with tears, but she nodded in agreement. However, determination filled her as she activated her Byakugan. Her hands started glowing with chakra, not using the gentle fist style, but simply emitting her normal chakra. Her training with the Hyuga clan allowed her to control her chakra effortlessly, and now she felt its strength. But the strike to Naruto's belly, she released a burst of chakra, causing him to cry out in pain. It was an agonizing experience for him. After a while, Naruto managed to regain control over the pain. "Oh man, that's the most intense pain I've ever experienced in my life. I never want to go through that again," Naruto exclaimed, still smiling at Hinata. Hinata worriedly asked, "I'm sorry. Does it hurt even more?" Naruto reassured her, "No, I'm fine. Don't worry, I was the one who asked you to do it anyway." Hinata activated her Byakugan to examine Naruto's chakra pathways. "Naruto-kun, your chakra paths are open now," Hinata confirmed as she observed his chakra pathways with her Byakugan. "I can see that you already possess Chunin level chakra. And after my encounter with Mother, my chakra has also increased to a Genin level." Hinata couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and joy in their progress. Naruto's face lit up with excitement. "That means I have a lot of chakra and I can learn and perform even more jutsu. I'm going to become stronger and release Mother from her prison," Naruto declared with determination. Hinata couldn't help but smile at his unwavering resolve. She, too, yearned to meet their mother once again. She had been watching over them since their birth, acting as a guiding presence. When Hinata found herself in desperate need, their mother sent Naruto to help her, even though it meant sacrificing her remaining chakra and entering another deep sleep, or worse, risking her life. While she may not be their biological mother, Hinata loved her just as much as she loved her real mother. The next day marked the start of the academy, where children typically enrolled at the age of 7. However, Naruto, Hinata, and other children from renowned clans who already possessed basic knowledge of chakra were granted permission to skip a year and enroll at the age of 8. But the month of free time before the academy started, Naruto and Hinata decided to dedicate it to uncovering more about their mother. They were convinced that there had to be some mention of her in the village's shinobi history. They delved into ancient books and scrolls, searching for any clues that could shed light on their mother's past. As they explored, they stumbled upon a book that spoke of the Sage of Six Paths, a legendary figure in shinobi folklore. While the authenticity of the stories was debated, Naruto and Hinata sensed a connection. According to the book, a woman had consumed a mystical fruit and gained chakra. She eventually gave birth to two sons who also inherited her chakra. However, an immense evil, known as the Ten Tails, took control of their mother. In order to save the world, the older brother trained with a toad sage and became a sage himself. Recognizing the potency of sage chakra against their mother, the brothers fought alongside the toad sage and managed to seal their mother within the moon. The younger brother, filled with love for his mother, departed to the moon and spent the rest of his life there. The older brother, having sealed the Ten Tails chakra within himself, roamed the world, bestowing chakra upon others. As his life neared its end, he divided the Ten Tails chakra into 9 separate entities, each possessing its own consciousness. Thus, he became known as the Sage of Six Paths. While some dismissed the tale as mere mythology, Naruto and Hinata felt an undeniable connection to the story. It resonated with the memories they had of their mother. They now knew the location of her seal, but they felt powerless to release her. They were still too weak, lacking the knowledge of how to approach the task. They pondered the possibility of seeking assistance from the Senju and Uchiha clans, as the books mentioned them as descendants of the Sage of Six Paths. However, they faced obstacles in their path. The Senju clan had already been destroyed before their birth, and recently, Uchiha Itachi had eliminated all Uchiha members, except for Sasuke. They wondered if Sasuke, with his similar chakra to Naruto's, they doubted whether he would ever change his vengeful mindset. His thoughts were consumed by revenge, leaving little room for anything else. The others anticipated his rejection when they approached him for a different path. In the meantime, they focused on their own growth and strength. Training became their refuge and sanctuary, a way to prepare themselves for the challenges ahead. The approaching academy, scheduled to start next month, loomed as an opportunity for them to refine their skills and unite as a formidable force. It had been 5 years since Hinata and Naruto encountered Kagaya. During this time, they both dedicated themselves to training in secret, pushing each other to become stronger. Naruto's parents continually urged him to train with them, but he always declined, much to Naruto's frustration. However, little did they know that Naruto had a secret desire to train with Hinata. Together, they wanted to surprise their enemies with their newfound abilities. Over the past 5 years, Naruto and Hinata focused on physical training and honing their chakra control. They deliberately refrained from learning powerful jutsu as they understood the strain it could put on their bodies. Nevertheless, they did acquire knowledge of some low-level jutsu during their training. Hinata had developed her unique Taijutsu style to enhance her Jiken abilities. In addition, she delved into the study of sealing jutsu and the use of senbon. Although she had yet to incorporate poison into her senbon techniques, she was diligently learning the skill. Naruto, on the other hand, devoted himself to mastering the flying swallow Taijutsu style, which was a B-rank short-range offensive technique. He also learned how to wield a sword and carried one in a storage seal crafted by Hinata. He was thrilled that Hinata had taken an interest in Fuinjutsu, as it would undoubtedly prove advantageous in their missions. Alongside these accomplishments, Naruto also became proficient in minor jutsu, including the 3 academy jutsu. In the academy, both Naruto and Akari were widely recognized for their exceptional abilities. Naruto's hyperactive nature often led her to challenge Sasuke to battles, but he consistently refused, knowing that she was a formidable opponent. With her unparalleled Taijutsu skills, she could even hold her own against some Jonin-level shinobi. Sasuke hesitated to face her, fearing the embarrassment of being defeated. Akari, in contrast, possessed a calm and strategic approach to her training. She excelled in ninjutsu and had already mastered high-level water techniques that surpassed those of some Jonin in the village. Both sisters, like their mother Kushina, carried the power of the Kyuubi within them, and their parents, as well as Jiraiya and Tsunade, had been training them rigorously since the age of 5. They were undoubtedly strong. As for Naruto, he intentionally maintained his position as the dead last in the academy. He concealed his true abilities, not wishing to draw attention from his family, who had not played a role in his training. When the time came for the academy exams at the age of 13, Naruto, Hinata, Akari and Naruto felt a sense of anticipation. However, they tempered their expectations, knowing that their first missions might only involve menial tasks. Safety was a concern, and it was crucial for them to have a team they could trust. The exams proceeded as expected. The written test was not overly challenging, and almost all the students passed. Naruto, Kiba and Shikamaru barely achieved passing grades, with Naruto intentionally downplaying his intelligence. Shikamaru, ever the lethargic strategist, found writing more than necessary to be a troublesome endeavor. The remaining students received average marks, but Akari, Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura achieved perfect scores thanks to their exceptional abilities. The second test involved shuriken and kunai throwing. Only 5 students failed this test, all of them civilian-born. Naruto, Hinata, Akari and Naruto showcased their skills, achieving varying degrees of success. Naruto managed to hit 4 out of 10 shurikens and 5 out of 10 kunai, while Hinata scored 5 out of 10 with shurikens and 7 out of 10 with kunai. Akari displayed impressive accuracy, scoring 9 out of 10 with shurikens and 8 out of 10 with kunai. Naruto also performed well, hitting 8 out of 10 with both shurikens and kunai. Sasuke, unsurprisingly, achieved a perfect score, hitting all the targets with both weapons. Shikamaru once again displayed his nonchalant nature, hitting the minimum requirement of 3 kunai and 3 shuriken, and deciding not to attempt any further throws. The rest of the students achieved varying degrees of success. The third and final exam tested the students' proficiency in the 3 academy jutsu. 4 more civilian-born students failed this test, while all the others passed. Each student demonstrated the 3 basic jutsu, except for Akari and Naruto, who impressed the examiners by showcasing the shadow clone jutsu instead of the typical clone jutsu. Their creativity earned them extra points in the exam. But the exams concluded, the entire class, except for the 9 civilian-born students, successfully passed. Akari's use of the shadow clone jutsu and her exceptional performance earned her the first rank in the class, while Naruto secured second place and Sasuke came in third. Shikamaru, true to his carefree nature, ended up as the last-ranked student. The following week, the students were eagerly awaiting the assignment of their 3-person teams, accompanied by a Jonin-level teacher. As Naruto, Hinata, Akari, and Naruto made their way home, a sense of accomplishment filled the air. We're officially shinobi now. Soon, we'll be embarking on real missions, Naruto exclaimed with joy. Akari, always the realist, reminded them that they would likely start with menial tasks before progressing to more significant missions. Naruto and Hinata walked silently, content with the progress they had made. Their friendship and dedication to training were paying off. Upon arriving home, they were greeted by their mother, Kushina, who was overjoyed to see her children wearing their headbands. While she had been confident in her daughter's abilities, she had worried about Naruto. Seeing him with a headband alongside Hinata brought her immense relief. She had even made arrangements with Minato to be assigned as their team's Jonin leader to ensure their safety and provide them with her guidance and protection. I'm so happy that all of you passed. Hinata, you did well too, Kushina said, hugging each of them tightly. Naruto eagerly shared the class rankings, but her enthusiasm waned when she mentioned Naruto's second-to-last position. Kushina gently admonished Naruto, urging him to take his training more seriously to avoid getting hurt during missions. Naruto assured his mother that he would keep her words in mind, not wanting to argue with her. Inside their home, Kushina prepared their favorite meal for a celebratory feast. They sat together, enjoying the momentary respite before the challenging life of a shinobi consumed their days. So this part ends here. Alright, that's it for today's video guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Bye bye.